Officials are confirming the identity of the Chinese student whose parents are accused of paying $6.5 million for her to get into Stanford.
Well, UC Zhao spoke out about her admission to the school in a video that the New York Times has originally posted back in 2017. Things on the internet last a while. Some people think, didn't you get into Stanford because your family is rich? I tested into Stanford through my own hard work. Now investigators are looking into additional families as well, especially out of China. Joining us to discuss, federal litigator, white-collar criminal attorney Andrew Stoltmann. Nice to see you, sir. Appreciate you being with us. Boy, those comments on YouTube did not age well. But at the same time, you think about it, $6.5 million, generally that falls into the philanthropy range, not the bribery range. You buy a library, you get in anyway.
That's right. It's kind of funny. A lot of the stuff that prosecutors are complaining about is legitimate. It's been taking place for a very long time. And I can promise you there are a whole bunch of additional families that are extraordinarily nervous, because anytime you have federal prosecutors with their 93% conviction rate sniffing around, makes a lot of people nervous.
Yeah. You know, I've had a chance to be in a lot of the courtrooms covering the admissions scandal. It's being prosecuted out of Boston, of course. And the judges, I should say, because there are multiple judges involved, have raised a bunch of different issues as various parents have taken different paths. And one of the judges talked quite a bit about the issue of entrapment. Do you think that's an issue in this case? We know that William Rixinger, the mastermind behind this, was cooperating. There were recorded conversations. Just your thoughts on that aspect of this moving forward.
Yeah, entrapment is a definite possibility with respect to a defense that's going to be raised. And realize, while prosecutors have a very good conviction rate, there are legitimate defenses. I mean, you have parents who are going to be able to argue that I just did something that people have been doing for decades. Number two, they can claim that they didn't know. And number three, they can kind of play the pin the tail on Rick Singer defense. They can say, we delegated to Rick Singer, we let him do what he does, and how he did it, we didn't know.
Yeah, Molly, you were bringing that up as well, that some lawyers were talking to you about
ahead of time, that there were the potential of saying, you know what, hey, if we gave this money to him, he has this charity. Of course, prosecutors say this is a phony charity, but that then if he takes the money and sends it where he sends it, that's his responsibility, not necessarily the parents. We won't know until this goes, you know, till some of these parents actually end up going to trial. Now, we know that there are 19 thus far that have been indicted. There are some other 14 that have chosen to work out plea deals with the prosecutors. So it'll be interesting to see the arguments that are made in court. Various arguments, potentially. We could see multiple trials.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. And I think prosecutors are pretty excited because in one sense, I think they have what they perceive to be unsympathetic defendants. You have virginal defendants insofar as these are people that are not used to having the criminal crosshairs put on them. I don't think Lori Loughlin is going to be the only one who has gone from full house to the outhouse to potentially the big house.
If you came up with that one on the fly, I'm impressed. If you think about the schools that were involved in this, though, Stanford, Georgetown, University of California, Los Angeles, University of San Diego, University of Southern California, UT Austin, Wake Forest, Yale, and UC Berkeley. That's the ones we know about. Yale University on the list as well. Conceivably, there could be more. How nervous should these universities be? Because as you point out, parents have been given money to get their kids into school for a long time. Maybe they haven't been bribing the sailing coach, but they've been doing a lot of other things. Do parents have the right, who are being charged in this, to go to these universities and say, we want every conversation you've had with every donor, we want every discussion you've ever had with every kid, and they say what you say, like, look, I'm doing exactly what every other parent has done, whether I give it to the crew coach or to a new arts center?
That's exactly it. It's not just the parents and the students who are nervous, but I can promise you these top-flight schools are extraordinarily nervous, too, because we will get into discovery. And if I'm the defense lawyer, I put these universities on trial, and I hammer on them for some of their shady practices, and I attack them. They will be in the crosshairs, and this whole thing is just mushrooming into something that is extraordinarily unpleasant for everybody involved.
Yeah, well, Andrew, appreciate the insights. Molly will be there to cover it all in the courtroom in Boston, hopefully in good weather here during the spring. All right, thanks, Andrew.